Hi everyone, and welcome to another super special VN Happy Hour.
Woohoo!
Tonight our focus is on well-being, and in particular we wanted to celebrate the magic of veterinary nursing. Something we like to do every month, but this month we've got some very special friends with us to help us do just that.
That's right. So in our main interview this evening, James will be interviewing one of the biggest names in veterinary nursing, RVN, researcher, campaigner and award-winning blogger, Jane Davidson. Jane will be answering your questions about her wellbeing journey, as well as sharing some of the magic moments from her illustrious career.
And straight after that, Jane will be joining our other guests, Adam Robinson, Aoife Smith, Ellie Payne and Zara Livingstone for our panel discussion. We've had loads of questions sent in for our expert panel who all have a background in physical and mental well-being, and I know they're looking forward to sharing their thoughts and opinions with the Happy Hour community. So let's quickly introduce the panel. Jane is a London-based vet nurse who writes to educate and support vets, vet nurses and pet owners. She's the most popular vlogger in her industry and runs the award-winning community Planet RVN. Sharing stories is a universal desire in us all, and Jane uses blogs, vlogs and more to promote vet nursing, animal welfare and share the stories of those who need it.
Okay, and we have Adam, who worked in practice as a trainee vet nurse from 2011 to 2016 before becoming a personal trainer in 2019. Adam is also an NLP practitioner and has a passion for bodyweight exercise and home workouts. He is also hugely passionate about creating a stronger mindset to achieve success, not only in training, but in all aspects of life.
And Aoife has a BSc in veterinary nursing and a BA in psychology, and has become a very passionate, motivated and empathetic addition to the realm of veterinary mental health. She strives towards helping veterinary professionals to realise just how amazing they are and how valuable their mental health is.
Ellie Payne qualified as an RVN in 2018. She has worked in first opinion practice, hospitals, and now in referral practice. Ellie's interests are neurology, exotics, and emergency and critical care. She also has an online platform, The Positive Vet Nurse, which is all about promoting positivity and mental health awareness in the veterinary profession, which is also very close to her heart.
And finally, we've got Zara. Zara qualified as a VN in 2009 at First Opinion practice in Hampshire before moving on to referral work in ophthalmology. During her 7 years there, she received her nurse certificates in anaesthesia and critical care. She then joined Lumbury Park Referrals as a member of the anaesthesia theatre team in 2015. While on maternity leave, Zara also gained 2 level 2 certificates in mental health. Although mental health in the industry is improving, she's added there. And over to you, Rachel.
I mean, what a panel. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, but of course, don't forget, we also have stacks of prizes to give away with £100 up for grabs in our live challenge. And as tonight is all about sharing the magic, we also have 5 rather wonderful little wizards to give away, but we'll explain more about that later. We will also be naming the winner of this month's Pay It Forward prize and announcing the 2 winners of our mega popular Top Tips competition. We've had so many entries again, our panel have had a really tough choice having to pick just 2.
And on top of that, we have the hotly anticipated return of Lee and Nikki for a 20-minute slice of March Madness in the kitchen. Plus, for the more energetic among us, we've got Adam, a qualified personal trainer, who'll be leading a hit session in the other Zoom room. It's a lot to cram into an hour, especially as we'll also be giving away 2 tickets for BSAVA Congress. So let's get this show on the road and give Jane Davidson a warm welcome to Happy Hour. Hi, Jane.
Hi, James. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We'll crack straight in with the questions. As I said, all these questions have been sent in by our delegates tonight, and we had far more sent in than we could possibly answer or ask in an hour. So I'll get cracking. First question is, what steps would you recommend for RVNs struggling with mental well-being when support isn't followed through from management?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for your questions, guys. This has been so lovely. And I've had a great time this week, actually, just thinking about if you have time to give people advice and think about it, what is best to do? Because sometimes people ask you for advice and you kind of do it, on the run. I think, and I've been in this situation, I think a lot of people have, acknowledged that there is an issue, because that takes the biggest hurdle out of the way. But then I find it really helpful to write down kind of what is it that's bugging? What is the problem? Is it, you with your mental health problem is struggling at work, are there things at work that are affecting your mental health? Because then you can start to see potentially a pattern, or you can start to see where it is would be best to go for help. Because in the grand scheme of things, a lot of us work in clinics that are quite small. You know, there may not be a big HR team, and practice principals don't always really know what it is that they should be doing. And I know I've had this discussion with a few friends where they kind of said, oh, this happened, but, you know, then my boss said, well, kind of what do you want me to do about it? It's like, well, I've come to you for some answers, but I also completely appreciate you're not an expert in HR law or mental health awareness. But, you know, to put the onus back on the person is, I don't know what I want, because if I did know what I wanted, I'd probably be able to sort it out myself. So I think acknowledge that there's something that's not right, that's impacting on your life. Sorry, that was Joey shaking his head there. Record kind of what's been happening, you know, when are your moods worse, or what are the problems that you're experiencing, and then consider asking for help in somewhere where you think that you might receive it. So I actually I've done notes on some free, this is Royal Canin, no advertisement there. And I thought, do you know what? Then I put down, yeah, you can speak to your GP. GPs are actually quite good with this kind of stuff, but obviously it takes time to get an appointment, and that's difficult. So there's a text service called Shout. So it's just Shout in capital letters. If you Google it, you'll find the number, and you can just get text support immediately there. Now, I'm going to say, before I list all the things that I've written down here, most of these I've actually called in the last year for myself. And I think that's really important to say, that I know some people look at me and can go, oh God, you're really successful and everything's really together. And it's like, no, I'm no more together than the next person, honestly. And so Shout is good. I found it, like, I think the second or third time I contacted them, it's a bit like a bot, but sometimes it's actually, it gets you to start writing something, because they kind of like, how can we help today? What's your problem? And sometimes just that, they're writing it down, you're kind of like, oh, that feels lighter once I've told someone else. And then they, you know, they're big about suggesting nice self-care things. So that's good. The Samaritans, to be quite honest, the Samaritans are really good. And don't ever think, I know that they say that they're kind of there for when you're suicidal, but actually I think a lot of us don't realize when we get that close, or when you're really struggling and you just need an independent ear. Because the nice thing about the Samaritans is they're not there to provide you with counseling, they are a listening service. And sometimes that is all that you need to begin with, is just someone to listen. You don't need someone to judge and then tell you what you should be doing, because a lot of the time, particularly with mental health problems, we know that we shouldn't feel depressed and we know that we shouldn't feel like that, but we can't help it. And so that's really nice. Consider what friends and family you can reach out to. It's always difficult, you know, necessarily asking for help, particularly around this time where you sort of think, oh, I don't want to burden anyone. But do speak to someone, just choose one person. If you're a BVNA member, obviously they have a helpline, and Vet Life is always there. It's there for everyone in the veterinary community. And I haven't spoken to Vet Life in the past year. I mean, lucky them, they've been spared me. But I have spoken to them before, and they've been really helpful. And it's just, now, of all the times where I've contacted, do you know what? I've contacted these places maybe once or twice. I've worked through a problem, and then it's just not seemed so big. So it's not even that by saying that I've contacted these people that I can then tell you. And then I went on a massive journey and lots happened.
It was just on that, Dan, on that, because I mean, it's fascinating. So I think what ties into that would be the next question, which I'm going to ask you now, which is, what have been the times in your career when you felt your well-being to be most challenged, either physically or mentally?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
What have those strategies been? Because I think that just rolls into what you've just been talking about. Well,
yeah, the final thing on this page was take time off work and take time for yourself. And that is 110% my problem. So I think that question was really good, actually, because I think it's good to say the difference between physical and mental issues, but obviously the two are related. Definitely the worst time physically was 2015. It was the year before I got given my second spinal surgery. I'd had to give up my job teaching clinical skills, and I was just sitting at home on an awful lot of medication, feeling awful and didn't know if I'd ever have surgery. And pretty much the hospital were saying to me, this is as good as it will ever get. And I was like, okay, I'm tanked up to the eyeballs of medication that still can't let me sleep through the night. So when I wake up at 2 a.m. in extreme pain, I have to take oral morphine to get back to sleep. I can't work. I can't, I can't leave the house. I can't do anything. And at that point, I honestly thought I'd never be back in the veterinary industry again, because it's such a physical job that I just thought this is it. This is my life. And that's actually when I started my YouTube channel, because I wanted to still support students with their OSCEs and I couldn't through my job. And I started, lots of people always go, oh, do you monetize your YouTube? And I'm like, no, because actually my YouTube was started at a time where I felt awful. And the thanks that I get from people for it that's all that I need. I don't need anything else from it. In fact, a nurse at my vet clinic has had to bandage Joey's legs this week because he's ripped his stopper pads. And she's passed her OSCEs last year and is now qualified, and said, oh, thanks so much for your for your videos. And that was lovely. And then she came out with Joey's bandages and she went, it's terrifying bandaging for you. So it's like, oh God, that's awful.
Extra pressure.
Yeah, no
Jane.
extra pressure.
But just keeping it moving on. And the next
Yeah,
question
yeah.
we had was...
Oh, well, I was just going to say mental health, was probably 2020 last year. And I did all the things that I said before. I reached out to people. And the one thing you need to know about me is I am the worst person at asking for help. So if I've done it, you can do it.
So do you have you must have some suggestions on how people can handle their anxiety before a work shift?
Yeah, do you know what? I think anxiety is really difficult, and I'm really glad that it's now acknowledged as something sort of separate to depression or anything else, because I think anxiety does I think particularly when you're quite a high performing person, like we usually are in the vet industry, anxiety blimmin' loves you. I would definitely try to distance yourself from your anxiety, in that your anxiety is not you. It is something that happens and it escalates how you feel about things. So try and think about that your anxiety is a little part of you, but it takes up too much space. And I had CBT about 5 years ago. It was part of actually my pain therapy. But CBT for anxiety is really good, and you can get it on the NHS. They usually do 10 sessions. And it's really good at training your brain not to go down those mad anxious pathways, because that's ultimately what happens with anxiety. Is you start down a pathway of, well, if this happens and that happens, then I won't be able to cope, and then this is, and all of a sudden you're talking about a scenario that might never actually happen, but you're anxious about it already, and you're not able to sleep, or you're stressed before your shift. So I definitely think getting some sort of help for that is good, because the more, if you think of your brain like a bit of a forest, and the bits that you want to find of information or feelings you have to go to more regularly, you start building pathways. And if your pathways are always going towards anxiety, then it's very hard to change that. And you need to kind of do that to let that kind of forest grow back up, to go, we don't go down that anxiety road, we can cope with what's going on. And definitely, I would definitely say get help for that. And CBT is fantastic for it. Kind of, that was life-changing for me back then.
Great answer. Next question is, when you diversify out of practice, how would you recommend dealing with the conflict of not feeling like a nurse?
It's a weird one, isn't it? And I still have conflict with this myself sometimes, because I always think your skills will crop up everywhere. Your ability to cope with people in stress situations or problem solve, those skills remain and are really useful wherever you go. So take that with you wherever you go. And being an RVN is part of your journey. I know with the way that it feels when you're studying, it feels like becoming the RVN is the destination. And actually, it's not. It's one stop in your journey, which included, getting on the SVN train, then getting on the RVN train, and considering, oh yeah, Calm bedtime app. Yeah, love Calm. And so it's part of it. And what you do once you qualify is entirely up to you. We've got a group of people here tonight in the panel, and all of you in the audience just doing massively great, different, amazing things. So I feel like that I've certainly tried to keep connecting with trying to do some volunteer work. I do still the odd day in clinic when my back allows. if anybody just wants me to come and do anesthesia and sit down all day, then I'm very happy. I'll say that now. And as of this week, I've actually just been confirmed as a COVID vaccinator for the NHS.
Congratulations.
So I'm hoping that I'll not need to take a muzzle or, you know, wrap anyone in a towel. But even that, although I had to go through the non-vaccinated route, if you're a chiropractor and you've never given an injection, you don't have to do as much training as me. Never mind. But I've done that, and that just feels like I have the skills, I have the capability that if someone feels sick or a bit faint, then I can do that. And so it is about, yeah, you know, if you diversify away from clinic, you're no less of an RVN. And I mean, the RCVS support that. You do the CPD that's relevant for your job. And I'm really grateful to that, because I log 8 million tons of CPD with my PhD, but that's my job.
Fantastic. And have you, Jane, ever doubted your decision to become a vet nurse? And if so, how did you overcome that?
I don't know if I ever doubted my decision to become a vet nurse. I certainly doubted the roles that I've been in and thought, right, what do I do? So I've always, I think you'll probably realize I'm quite a linear person. I've sat down and thought, right, so look at the options within the role I'm in. Is there anything that I, you know, could diversify into from this current role? What are the alternatives to doing this job? Because sometimes that's really sobering when you go, this is actually quite good. I'll stick it out for a little bit longer and, you know, get something out of it. And I think, again, another list of, it's very difficult sometimes at work. You can get really clouded. You spend the majority of your waking time there. It can be very emotional, very stressful. And so it's sometimes good just to list, like, what do I like about this? What do I not like? What would I want? And I try to not say want too much, but also what in an ideal world would I like to do? And is it that it's the hours that I don't like? Is it the actual job that I'm doing? Is it the team that I'm in? Because for all the issues in the vet world, we have a huge variety of places and teams and jobs that you can go and do. And it's up to you really what you want to do with it. And also our needs change over time. You know, what might have been your ideal job 5 years ago, 5 years on is maybe not your ideal job. And that's not necessarily that you don't want to be an RVN. It's this role is no longer right for me. So definitely, and I'm the worst person for having itchy feet and moving around. Anyone that knows me will know that, because they're always like, oh my God, are you moving job again? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, on that then, Jane, so you do lots and lots and lots of things, as we mentioned in your biography. That could have been about 4 times longer. We had to cut for time. But what would you say are the aspects of your work that you enjoy the most?
What, with doing my PhD at the moment?
Well, doing anything, the whole, you know, I mean, this is about the magic of veterinary nursing. So
right.
What's the one
well,
thing
do you know what
I wrote for you?
I wrote my list, and the first 2 things I put on the top were I miss anesthesia and patient care, and I miss being in a clinical team. So you can get an idea of what I absolutely enjoyed about being in clinical practice, and I still miss that. But I do love engaging with people, and I do love having problems and solving them. And that's exactly what I do all day, is that I sit and I have, you know, I need to find information. It's in an archive, or it's here, there, and everywhere. And then I need to bring it all together, and I need to produce something to tell other people about this journey that I've been on through these archives. And so that is, yeah, I love that. And seeing people succeed, like somebody thanking me for my videos, is just the nicest thing ever. And people come up and do that. I mean, I'm missing it at conferences, because that's always just a really lovely thing. When people come by and go, usually they come by and go, are you Jane RVN? I'm like, yeah. And in fact, I won't reveal her name, but at Vet Fest a couple of years ago, someone actually cried on site at seeing me, and that was with happiness, may I add.
You didn't tread on a foot then?
Didn't tread on a foot, didn't do anything awful. But that's amazing to feel that my videos that I made when I was feeling at my worst have had such a positive effect. Yeah. It's just that I love it. It's brilliant.
And we've got time for one quick question. This is a specific one. I'll be starting my degree dissertation in the autumn. I have your book already. Any other tips?
Well, thank you for buying my book. Thank you to everyone that's done. I was thinking about this. So briefly, find your learning team for your dissertation, because it might be different than what you do for an exam, and it'll be different to the people you socialize with. So don't be afraid to have people that are your library buddies and your journal sharing buddies, and make that team. Think of your writing sandwich. Lots of people think that your bread is really thin on either side and that your writing's the big bit. And actually, if you do your research properly, you'll have started the writing process. The writing process becomes small, and then the editing and referencing. So make sure that editing and referencing, that you leave more than enough time for that. Choose your research question well. Have a look around at what's out there, because sometimes you can choose a research question and then find there's nothing really either interesting to write about, or that you would want to do, or you would have difficulty getting access to creating primary research. Get some advice from your university or from colleagues. Read previous dissertations, good ones. Actually, always read a mediocre and a bad one, because it makes you feel much better. My PhD writing improved when I read a bad PhD thesis. And read journal articles, because that's the sort of style that they're looking for you to write in. So that's easy. And if you find a journal that you like, there's no harm in mimicking the way that they present their work, because that's then a good academic standard. It's been peer reviewed. And you'll sail through it. You've got my book. I've been told it's life-changing by some people.
How can that not be the case?
Well, exactly.
And good luck to whoever sent that in. Good luck
Yes.
good luck with your degree. But thanks ever so much for that, Jane. That was brilliant. I know you're going to be joining our panel in a few seconds. But now we have got Rachel, who's just going to quickly introduce our challenge for the evening. All you'll need is your mobile phone. Isn't that right, Rachel?
That's right. Thanks, James. So yeah, here we go, guys. All we want you to do is grab your mobile phone, scroll through, and we want you to find a picture that for you sums up the magic of veterinary nursing. That's it. It's so easy, and you could bag yourself a £100 voucher. So find that picture and email it to happyhour@bbd.co.uk. You've got until the end of the panel discussion to do that, and we will be announcing the winner a bit later on. If you could also share it on social media, let's really get that magic out there. Let's show everyone out there just how great this profession is. So yeah, get set and go.
And we're also got, we were inundated with top tip suggestions this month. I think we had well over 70. So they've had some fantastic suggestions. We've picked out the best 9. Our panelists have been kind enough to select their top 2. We will be sharing those with you all later on, as well as we'll be naming our Pay It Forward. Rachel, you'll be doing that later on, won't you?
Yes, I will indeed, yeah.
So we've got that all to look forward to. But first of all, to the panel, and I'd add again, all these questions have been sent in by you guys. That's members of our Happy Hour community. And we just think it's promises to be an absolutely great discussion. So let's get involved. Over to you, Rachel, with the first question.
Okay, so hi guys again on the panel. Hello. First question is for you, Zara. So when should you help if you see the signs before the person has acknowledged the problem? So I'm assuming that obviously well-being, they're struggling.
Yeah. So basically, I would approach this situation very, very sensitively, because there's a lot of stigma around mental health. Some people think it's craziness, and some people don't want other people knowing that they've got mental health issues. You want to be able to understand it. So mental health is like a physical illness, so it's nothing to be ashamed about. My view is you just got to be there for someone, understand if they want help. If they want help, then you can help them to find the correct help for them. If they don't want help, then you've got to respect their view. And also to keep everything privately, because not everyone wants everyone knowing the business. The only time that you really need to share the information if someone's suffering with a mental health issue is if they're at harm for themselves or for others. A lot of practices now have got mental health first aiders, which is great. It's becoming more and more popular. So if you're the person that they've approached, which in my career in the past, I've had a few people approach me about the situation. If I can't help them, then I try and research places for them to receive help. Doctors aren't always about tablets. So I would also recommend approaching your doctor. They can then divert you to the correct areas, but also great, we've got all these websites. So we've got like Mind, iTalk, as we've previously said, Samaritans, Vet Life. Sadly, veterinary industry, there is a lot of mental health issues. And I don't think, because we're always busy, we don't want to show our weaknesses. That's all I can give.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And this for you, Aoife. I find it interesting that you have both a vet nursing and a psychology degree. How did this come about?
So I went into vet nursing when I was really young at first. I was only 17 and I went in 2010 and I finished in 2014. So while I had a great time, I just felt like I was super young and I kind of wanted to take on other adventures. And I was living in Australia from 2017 to 2018. And psychology was always in the back pocket in there somewhere. So I realized then when I was coming home that I really wanted to dive in and become a psychologist. And so then I went full circle and I actually married the two. So I have a thesis done in compassion, fatigue, stress and self-care practices in the Irish veterinary industry. So I wrote that paper last year. It's published actually. I can link it in the chat if you want.
If you could, please.
Yeah, of course. Because you guys are pretty good for your research in the UK, but Ireland is so far behind. And yeah, it's kind of just me at the moment. So I'd like to build an army if I can, a revolution, if you will.
Excellent. And Rachel?
I love that. Adam, this one's for you. Do you have any advice for someone looking to lose weight and feel fitter? Apart from being on my feet at work, I'm not overly active. Where do I start?
Okay, so the weight loss thing, I mean, I could talk about this all night, but I won't. So with weight loss, the first and foremost is getting your steps in the day. That's the easiest thing you can do. But the thing that's going to help you the most is your nutrition. So obviously getting exercise in is going to really help you, but you can actually just lose weight with just a good diet, believe it or not. I mean, you're obviously going to have to move still, but a good diet is like crucial for losing weight and getting in the best figure that you want to be. So first of all, I would look at your fruit and veg. That is your most important thing. So plenty of fruit and veg. There's this big thing about sugars with fruit as well. I wouldn't worry about that too much unless you're making, big smoothies every day full of berries and, apples and all sorts. I wouldn't worry too much because the difference is it comes with fiber. So the sugar is essentially broken down slower. So it's not like you're, cramming chocolate and cakes down your mouth. It's basically going to be supporting your body a little bit more rather than hindering it. So diet is the biggest one. I would look at your habits as well. Sometimes we have these habits where we may have, tea and biscuits at night, or we might get up in the morning and have 2 pieces of toast and, I don't know, like a chocolate a nut bar or something. These habits, you don't even realize you've got them. So the best thing you can do there is look at the habits and think, do I actually need this food? Am I hungry, or is it just a habit? Or am I bored? Am I eating because I'm bored? Really good thing for weight loss is to see these habits and try and change them around as well. And lastly, water is probably the biggest one that gets missed out a lot of the time. We focus a lot on food, which we should do, and exercise, which is again very very important for weight loss. Water is one of the biggest ones, because if you can keep yourself hydrated and keep swigging throughout the day, you want about 2 to 2.5 liters a day, then you're going to feel fuller as well. So you're essentially not going to be as hungry throughout the day. So that will help to stop the snacking throughout the day and stuff as well, hopefully anyway. But yeah, my top tips there for weight loss, focus on water intake, look at your habits, and yeah, try and get as much fruit and veg as possible. And then just, complementary training along the way as well. Jogging and running, perfect for weight loss. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do these crazy, strength training workouts, although it will help. Okay. You're jogging and running and walking, just do them. Absolutely fine. You don't need to go crazy with it.
Great stuff. And as you start with water, I'll have a swig now.
Yeah.
That's me. And sorry for Ellie, question for you. I love your Positive Vet Nurse Instagram page. Why did you decide to set this up?
Hi. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, so I was going through particularly a rough time in my life when I made that page. And I just thought about how a lot of people in the veterinary profession are feeling the same. So I thought if you can be transparent in how you feel, then people really appreciate that. And it's gone to show with the amount of messages I get off people saying, you know, I really needed this post today, you know, thank you for this. And I get some really lovely messages from people to say how much my words have helped them. So if you're going through a bad time, it can help someone else in feeling that they're not alone. So it's my own little safe space on that page where I kind of let everyone come, and if they want to comment on things and kind of vent how they feel, it's really nice to see like a little community on there of people getting together and doing that. So yeah, that's why I've done it and how it's developed really.
And you obviously get some really amazing stuff on there, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Rachel?
Thank you. So Zara, was there a particular reason for deciding to study mental health?
So my main focus, my partner works in mental health, so that's one part of my interest. The other part was about 18 months ago, I had my son. I went through a traumatic labour, and then it took me 6 months to actually admit that I was suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder and postnatal depression on top of it, which has now left me with depression. I'm not ashamed to announce that I've got depression. It's not how I am. I'm Zara. I'm not the person that's got depression. I can still do my job perfect, and I still, as long as I control it, I'm absolutely fine. And the reason why I wanted to study it was, one, for my own interest, because I was interested in finding out more about my conditions. 2, I wanted to know how to help other people if needed. And also 3, that I actually learned a lot, because the fact is I thought certain conditions was certain, they went for like certain treatments and stuff. And I actually realized that not every person deals with different situations in the same ways. So I could have depression I could show signs of depression in one way, but someone else might show depression in another way. So that was why I done it, and lucky enough I was on maternity leave, so I was able to do it. And now I've used it to write papers for the Vet Nurse Journal. So I've done one last year which was stress within the workplace, and I've got another one coming out in the Vet Nurse Journal, I think in May, which is depression hidden behind the smile. The reason why I've done them was because if it can help someone realise that they've actually got the condition, 2, how to go about and getting help, and also 3, to get others to learn about the conditions and how to help others, because I think mental health, people are scared to talk about it, and lucky enough we're getting better at it.
Good answer. Good answer. We're getting quite tight for time, so we'll keep this one quite tight, Jane. But how do you put yourself first when you feel it's on you to hold others up?
That is really difficult. And I know there are kind of Facebook memes of who you can't pour from an empty cup and all these kind of things. But I like the phrase, if you don't make time for your wellness, you're going to make time for your illness, because I have certainly made a lot of time for illness in my life. And while that's been a journey for me, I was also lucky enough to be able to afford to not work for a little bit. And that's not possible for everyone. And so just making time for you. And the thing is, when you first start making time for you, you think other people will judge you for being selfish. They absolutely won't, because they've no idea that you're making time for you, because you don't have to broadcast it. But you can just make sure, I will leave work on time, or I won't turn up half an hour early. I will definitely take my lunch because I need to. And I'm not going to sign up for that extra shift, because you can still be there for people, and you can signpost. I think that's really interesting. Kind of what we've all done tonight is actually, a lot of it is we are then signposting people to say, these are places where you can go and get help and support. So you don't have to take everyone's burden on yourself. But the difficulty we have is, as nurses by nature, that is our personality type. In fact, there's been a lot of research in it in the NHS that the reason that you get back pain and severe back pain and need surgery, nothing physical, it's all mental, it's all a personality type.
That really is quite interesting.
That is it. There's a blog brewing on it somewhere.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Rachel?
Okay, Aoife, the next question's for you. As you know, being a vet nurse can be full on. How can we make sure we are finding time for self-care? I simply struggle to fit it in.
Yeah, I loved this question actually, because I think the key word there is find time. I would encourage you to make time instead. Now that kind of leads us into a spiral, I guess, because then all of a sudden you're saying to me, well, Aoife, like, where is the time? So yeah, make the time, don't find the time. I feel like if we tell ourselves I can't find the time, that tells our mind that like something is lost or that we are lost. Whereas time is your own. And I think we forget that quite a lot, particularly in this industry. We forget that time is our own. And in the beginning, if you're starting to schedule it in, that's the key word, schedule. So even if it means like doing out a physical timetable in your journal or something at the start of the week and putting in white space for yourself where you can do absolutely nothing, or you can schedule your workouts in, or you can you know what I mean, your meditation and things like that. But yeah, make time, don't find it. It's yours, it belongs to you, so take it back.
Yeah, so it's make yourself a priority.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's selfish.
Yeah, it's easier said than done though. Like it fully is, you know, it's so easy for me to sit here and say make time. Like I'd say all of you are thinking, well, sorry, no, but my roster says otherwise. So it's easier said than done. But if you can flip that switch in your mind, like language really is everything. So if you can do that little flip for yourself, like at least it's the first step, you know.
Great answer. Ellie, this one's for you. What ideas could you implement in a workplace to help keep a positive mental attitude among staff members?
Yeah, so this is a really good one. I know the past year hasn't been good for most of us, all of us maybe. And definitely being in the profession at this time has been one of the hardest times, I think, personally. And something you could do is like creating like a little box, like a gratitude box. So someone at work does something nice for you, say so-and-so helped me with a really difficult euthanasia, or they helped me clean a kennel when I was really busy. You could pop it on a piece of paper, put it in the box, and then at the end of the month, these cards can be drawn out, and the first one to be picked out could win, you know, a little prize like some chocolates, or just something really little, really nice, and then the rest could be read out as well, so that everyone knows that they've been appreciated in some way or another. Or if not a box, you could have like sticky notes on a board, so you could just write on, you know, a gratitude of someone, just to show how much you appreciate what they've done for you, and it just helps boost morale a little bit. And then just putting like positive quotes up around the communal areas so everyone can see, and try and boost the spirit of what we can.
No, that's a lovely answer.
Okay, Zara, I have another question for you. Was there ever a point in your career that you felt like you weren't good enough and felt like leaving the profession altogether?
Definitely. I think if anyone says that they don't, then I think they're pretending, because every profession has its ups and downs. Mine was about 16 years ago when I just started training. So I was just about to do my exams in London, so back in the olden days. And I got told by a vet that I would never qualify and I would be a rubbish nurse. So this obviously sunk into me, affected me for my exams, but I did still pass. I wanted to walk away. So basically, technically, when I look back now, I was being bullied. Lucky enough, I left that profession, that first opinion company, and I went straight into referral work, which it all changed. But this made me want to push even more in my career. And now when I look back, I'm basically 15 years down now, 12 years in referral, clinical coach, got one certificate, just about to do another nursing certificate on top of that. I train student nurses, I train interns, I train final year vet students. I even train new nurses that are coming into the industry. The reason why they come to me is because I don't make them look stupid. And my view is, don't ever stop learning because someone wants you to stop learning. Always push for what you want out of life and aim for it.
Amazing answer. Great answer. We're kind of pressed for time, so I'm going to ask you all. You've all got 30 seconds now to answer the last question, which is, Rachel?
For everyone, what is the magic of veterinary nursing for you?
So we'll kick off. Zara, you've got 30 seconds.
Magic of veterinary nursing for me is training the future RVNs.
Adam? Back in the day, I know you've diversified.
Back in the day, I was going to say, it was generally just a really nice job when the sort of client said thank you and stuff. I think that goes a long way, just that interaction as well. I think that's really nice.
Yeah, sorry for putting you on the spot. Jane?
Oh God, I'm going to be sad and soppy and just say it's love. Seeing clients go out with their animals and that you've kept a partnership together is the nicest feeling in the world.
Lovely. Ellie?
It's empowering vet nurses to find their niche, what they love doing, support and training, and just being a lovely community to each other.
And finally, Aoife?
Connecting with the beautiful qualities within yourself and offering them to an animal who needs help.
That's wonderful. I think right there sums up the magic of veterinary nursing. Okay, well, thanks ever so much for that. That was great, guys. Really enjoyed that. What do you think, Rachel?
Amazing. Some wonderful tips there as well for people, I think. That was great, guys.
So now what we're going to do is Rachel is going to announce the winner of our mega top tips competition. There's £50 Amazon voucher each coming up.
Yeah.
We've had some amazing suggestions.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, bear with me. So as James mentioned earlier, we had so many entries for this and it is so hard to pick just the top two. You should have a few of our entries on screen now, but we can only have two winners and they are Kim Grimwood and Sean Plume. So well done, guys, for sending in your tips. They came out top and you have each won a £50 voucher. We will be in touch with you to sort those out. Well done.
And next up, we've got a rather special cooking slot with Happy Hour's very own Lee Clayton Harvey and Nikki Dartnell. It's Easter themes. It will probably all go wrong. That's all I know. For those of a more active end to the evening, Adam has kindly offered to host a hit session in the other Zoom room. But before that, I just need to explain about the wizards. We did promise to give one of 5 wizards we're giving away this evening. We got this idea. We saw a vet nurse post a month ago that these group of nurses were leaving wizards outside certain kennels for patients that needed a little bit of magic. If any of you guys are on tonight, give us a shout. We love the idea because we nicked it. Anyway, we thought it was lovely, so we've decided to give 2 away. Lee has hidden one in his video, so the first 3 people, but we'll explain that. One nurse is hidden, one wizard is hidden in Lee's video, and I'll be going in with Adam, and we'll be giving 2 more wizards away to the people who put the most effort in. So now it's over to Katie just to explain what's going to happen with Breakout Rooms.
Hi everybody, thank you for a fantastic interview and panel. That was really, really good watching. With the Breakout Rooms, any of you that haven't been here before, if you signed up to go into Adam's session, you should automatically in a second be taken to the Breakout Room with James and Adam. If for any reason you did want to go there and you don't move there automatically, at the bottom of the screen, you should find a little button eventually that says Breakout Rooms. And if you click that, it should give you the option to go and join Adam's breakout room. If you are still really struggling and you would like to go into Adam's room, then please do just pop it in the chat and I will make that happen for you. At the moment, I've got about a third of you will be heading over into Adam's breakout room too. Right at the end, you're going to get sort of a 30-second countdown. You don't need to leave the room then. You will automatically be brought back. So without further ado, I will send you all off to the rooms now, and those remaining here, Rachel will be introducing the March Mayhem that we've got here with Lee and Nikki. So you should, the people that would like to go and do some HIT training, You'll be going just about now.
Okay, and so for those of you left behind, you want to see what Lee and Nikki have been up to in the VBD kitchen. So here we go, let's see.
Again, we are now version 4.0 of VN Happy Hour, and I'm really pleased to say that Nikki's still here with me. And as you know,
to be
she's
here.
still glad to be here. We've got some fun and laughter for you today. Do a few product reviews on some Easter eggs because Easter's next weekend. As you can see, we're still wearing our gloves. We are COVID secure. We have been regularly tested as well, so we're in a safe working environment, and we are socially distanced as much as we possibly can do. But Nikki, as explained before, she's still in my work bubble. I still can't get rid of her, and it's tough. So yeah, so that's where we are. So welcome to the March VN Times Happy Hour. And as it's a magical one, what we actually have this time is these wonderful little wizards. Okay. These are on social media and they've been trending a bit apparently. So we've got 5 of them to give away. So if you're really quick, the first 5 people who put their name and say I want a wizard, hashtag VN Happy Hour in the comments on the left hand side, you'll get it. Simple as that. Right, we're going to do a quick product review on some of the Easter eggs. Like we said, it's Easter next week, but Nick, are you up for a little bit of a challenge?
Go on.
You know,
It's not vegetable related again, is it?
it might be vegetable related, but
Go on.
in the spirit of Easter, okay, got a present for you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Do I have to close my eyes?
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Now, I bought this especially for you. Happy Easter.
I don't know why I'm saying thanks just yet. Oh, me gloves still. Please don't be in it. Am I dressing up as a sodding carrot? Alright, back in 5.
So whilst Nick's going away to get dressed up as a carrot, I thought it's only fair that I do the same sort of thing. And I'm going to be the rabbit. So bear with us and we'll be right back, okay? So this is me. I am the rabbit, the Easter bunny. It's really hot in here.
It's a carrot!
So we are going to attempt to make you all things Easter by using some unopened or unused Easter chocolate. We're going to be making a
Rice Krispie cake,
hot chocolate.
a chocolate face mask.
Hey?
Chocolate face mask?
Really? You didn't say that to me.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
We're also going to make a proper
Gigantic.
Easter cake. So, first things first. So basically, as you can see, we went shopping and we thought we'd have a little look to see what's on the market this year. Easter's next weekend. If you're working over the weekend, then thank you very much. Give you a round of applause. You're doing a sterling job and we really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So Nick, which one are you going to tuck into?
I've got my eye on that Milky Bar one, if I'm honest.
Milky Bar.
It is just the right size, and if I remember rightly, this one was £1 and you get 65 grams worth of chocolate. So it's perfect, kind of one sitting.
Me personally, I prefer the ones in the bag. They're £1 a packet and you get 80 grams worth of chocolate. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Whereas on here, M&M land, I'd say, it's like £3 and you're basically paying for the packaging. It's a lot of packaging and not a lot of chocolate. I think the one which best represents value for money, if you've got lots of small people or you want to just treat people around the practice, and for £6, you've got this from Tesco's? From Tesco's. It's because it's very hot in here.
It's very hot. 725 grams.
A lot of chocolate, £6, and there's over 40 eggs in there. So you can around the practice, have a bit of fun with your colleagues. And those who don't always like chocolate, wine gums. They've now brought out one. So full of wine gums. It's not sadly a wine gum Easter egg because that's still
that
chocolate.
would have been incredible.
But inside they've got the wine gum.
We've also got dairy-free, gluten-free and vegan as well.
Yeah,
I've got to admit, it is a very strange colour, but...
Yeah, it's a bit purple.
Yeah.
We've got a chocolate orange version of it here. And Nikki, you've got...
I've got the bunny comb, apparently.
And in all fairness, a lot less ingredients in these, but you're paying double for the privilege.
These are 95 grams each.
So we're going to open this one up. Let's do this one first of all.
This one
All the packaging, by the way, now is actually fully recyclable, so that's a really good thing.
It's grey, isn't it?
You try it, Nick.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
You try that.
Okay. It's going to be minging. Oh,
It's really hot in here, I have to say.
Oh, knocks. Oh. Oh. actually. No, it's not so bad once it's out of the packaging.
Nicky, the zip's stuck.
Oh God, it is. Hang on.
Oh, it's so hot.
A rabbit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there we go. Close call.
It's really hot. If you see me pass out on the floor, it's because... God, those carrot arms are so strong. Okay, let me try this bit here. So this is the...
That is the everything free, basically.
No disrespect to you
Tastes like
vegans out there. But what's the point?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
With that in mind,
No.
we'll put that to one
Yeah,
side. In
let's
fact, we'll throw it in the bin because
Yeah.
we were going to obviously use some of the chocolate later on to make our hot chocolate and stuff like that.
I don't think there's any saving that one if I'm really
That's not going to
honest.
happen. That's really not going to happen. My favourite out of this, in all fairness, is the Rolos, the Aeros. It's a 75p. You can't go wrong with it, basically. Less packaging, more chocolate. Everyone's really happy. And I can't see.
It's this bit
Are you
of...
hot?
it's this bit- Actually, I'm all
Are
right.
you? I'm really hot. It's so hot.
I can't believe
It
it's
seems
just
like
a
a really
bunny
good-
and a carrot. What did you do at work today, Nick?
We
Well,
dressed up as a bunny and
was
a
a
carrot.
carrot.
Why? What's a bunny got to do with Easter, anyway?
Oh God, I don't know. It's something to do with spring, and it represents spring, or maybe a German fairy tale. They normally boil down to those.
No, but you don't know. You don't really know, do
I
you?
don't.
But if anyone else knows what a bunny's got to do with
Yes.
Easter, please let us know.
Yeah, please do.
Right, let's move on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is make you a delicious, nice, hot, thick, creamy hot chocolate. Okay, so what we're going to do is measure out. Probably, I don't know. We're going to wing it again. I mean, that's what our trait is basically. We just wing it and see how things go. We're going to fill this up to half. So I'd probably say half a litre, something like that, in the microwave for a couple of minutes. So whilst the microwave's going, just literally have a sing-a-song to yourself or listen to this lovely Easter music now while we have a little dance around.
Here's a hat that you must take home. Happy Easter, happy Easter. Here's a lid for
Don't forget to hashtag us at VN Happy Hour. Thank you. Okay, while the milk's boiling and I'm boiling, what we've got 3 unopened, unused Easter eggs. We've got some whippy cream, marshmallows. We've got a cafetiere. The reason for the cafetiere is because we haven't got a milk frother here. So we're going to froth the milk up with here, but there's a reason for using the cafetiere, which will become apparent right now. Pour into the cafetiere for me. And then what we'll do, we'll just open some of these milk chocolate eggs,
Another one?
chuck them in. Hopefully the heat of the milk will help to...
At the moment, they're just floating.
They're just floating.
Shall I give them a crush?
Yeah, a bit more. There we go. So, hold on the top, cafetiere.
Oh, you know, I had my doubts, but
I told you, this would work. There you go, you can see it's almost like doubled in size, and for 30 seconds, a quick work it out, and we're there. So hot chocolate has been made. So, by rights, we pour out nice, thick, creamy hot chocolate.
I'll get the squirty creamer ready.
Okay, decorate, obviously, you can do that with some marshmallows.
Some lovely dinosaur sprinkles.
How cool are they?
They are mega.
So, as you can see, we've actually made something I'm quite proud of.
Successfully! We've made something successful. Don't switch off to another channel.
No, don't go anywhere else. Stay with us. Here is the hot chocolate. So,
Cheers.
I'm not going to drink it because I don't like milk.
Oh no, you can't do milk. I
Cheers.
will though. It's very milky.
Put a bit more cream in it. Sorry, I just had to do it. I just had to do it. It's been something good. Cheers.
Go on.
Right. Okay. Composure.
What was the head thing? Oh, I got them bloody covered in it.
Okay, we're going to just get Nikki to clean
Jet
herself up, jet wash, and then we'll be ready for the next part, which is going to be making our Easter cake for you. Okay, so we're back. Remember to hashtag being happy hour us, and if you have any questions or something you'd like to see us do next time round, then please feel free to email us at
vnhappyhour@vbd.co.uk.
Okay, so we're going to have a go at making another cake for you. Okay, the first time round, as you know, it wasn't very successful. I don't think this is going to be much better, but we are going to follow the recipe-ish.
Kind of.
We haven't got all the ingredients, but we're going to give it a go. So, first things first, 140 grams of self-raising flour. It should be plain flour, but because we haven't got baking powder or plain flour, we're going to use that. Next, we've got 175 grams of demerara sugar.
Because we haven't got any white
Because we
sugar.
really want sugar, so we thought we'd give that a go as well. So in that one goes a couple of eggs. We will crack.
Oh, how do you do that?
You just crack it.
Yeah, I know, but you did this weird one-handed thing. No. Definitely not like that.
It's a skill, Nick. It's a skill.
That I don't have.
We haven't got any cocoa powder, but this is the whole purpose of this happy hour for you. What we've done is actually melt some old Easter egg chocolate, and we're going to spoon that in to this mixture. The other thing it actually calls for in the recipe is 100 millilitres of sunflower oil. Again, we haven't got that, so we're going to try what it's like with olive oil. This is 250 ml, so I reckon roughly if we go about that much, or a bit more.
The oiliest cake.
And what we do is just mix away.
Oh. Why does it smell like garlic? Is that garlic on the floor? Oh, so a quick revision to the recipe. Don't use garlic and rosemary olive oil. I mean, we've come this far.
We've got to carry on. We're just going to go through it. It does look...
That's very garlicky.
It's very, very garlicky. Right, I think that's mixed enough.
Yeah, now we've got to get it into this.
Yeah, so... Have you got a spoon? You need another spoon. Here you go. Do you want me to hold a new spoon out?
Yeah. Oh, we've got it. Oh God, this is very
How long
quick.
did it say you need to cook this for?
7 minutes. 7? 7.
Here's a hat that you must take home. Happy Easter.
So recap what's in there, Nick. What's the ingredients?
So you should have had 200 millilitres of sunflower oil, 175 grams of castor sugar, 140 grams of plain flour, 3 tablespoons of cocoa, we didn't do.
No.
3 teaspoons? Yeah, tisps of baking powder, we didn't do. Tisps. It's always about tisps. 2 large eggs, and oh, we didn't do the vanilla up to the
Say
cake.
goodbye to the cake. 7 minutes later, we'll see what comes out. So, excuse us, we'll prep the rest of the stuff. See you soon. Bye bye. Cake's cooking in the microwave. What we do now, we're going to make some cornflake cakes. We're not going to bother measuring any of this out because it's a bit pointless at this stage because we've pretty much got a self-measure of what we're going to do here. We bought those small individual portion packets from Kellogg's, so like, what are they, £2 for a box of 8 or
Yeah.
£3 for a box of 8, something like that.
Perfect for if you've got kids and then they can do their own and they don't have to learn
Have
to
a
share.
big block there. We're simply just going to get a 12 uneaten chocolate Easter egg, chuck it into a bowl, get some sugar. Does that come after or before?
That doesn't come at all. We do need 100 grams of butter, which is what I've just logged in there.
And we'll chuck some of those in. That'll be alright. Right, give us 30 seconds, we're going to stick it in the microwave and see how things go. So a minute later, this is what you get. A bowl full of really, really unhealthy, lovely, juicy cooked marshmallows, some chocolate which is in there. We just mix it through a bit. The butter's obviously melted down nicely. It is going. Look, we just need to be able to whisk up a bit better than this, but we just aren't really. This could almost be like a rocky road, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, guess what's ready?
Okay, so the ting 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 has just happened, and our cake is ready. So we'll leave that there just to hopefully bind through a bit, so that's okay.
I should not have inhaled.
Is it that bad?
Oh.
Okay, this is the cake, people. This is the cake. Get ready. Wow! It almost looks like a cake.
I can smell burning, but I don't think it's burned.
That's burnt. Is that not burnt? That's burnt.
Stop poking it with your glove.
That is
I tell you what. Hang
Okay,
on.
let's flip it out. We'll get it out.
No, don't. Look. You don't notice it. Problem solved. There you go.
Perfect. Okay.
Look at that.
What we will do, we'll just do this bit first. Let's leave this to cool down a bit so it's easy for us to handle. So take this out of shot.
Hopefully out of the building. So we've got this still going. I mean, it's gotten stickier. The marshmallows are doing what we kind of hoped they would do.
I think what we just need to do is just spoon it in. If we spoon it in, like so. So there you go. So that is your used up Easter egg.
Yeah.
And
butter.
Cornflakes, Rice Krispies, marshmallows, chucked together. What I leave them to do now is literally go in the fridge for half an hour.
I don't know, should we try one?
You try one.
Oh, brilliant.
Here's a hat that you must take home. Happy Easter.
That's really not bad.
That's okay.
That's alright. I'll give them a back.
Perfect. What we're going to do, we're going to actually just attempt just to hopefully get this out in one piece. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Good. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, hot. Yep.
Okay. It's a cake, at least. It's done something. So what we're going to do now, we're going to decorate this cake. We bought some Betty Crocker chocolate and hazelnut fudge fondant icing.
Here's a hat that you must take home. Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
But there we are.
So, there we go. This is our not so nice Easter egg chocolate cake made with everything which you shouldn't put into the ingredients, basically.
I would always say check the recipe before starting, or check the bottles, maybe.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of this very soon. But the last thing Nikki wants to do is demonstrate what you can do with a milk chocolate face mask. And somehow I've got a feeling that the face mask is going to be coming on me.
Yep.
And,
For sure.
I'm going to stall, and then I'm going to take. Well, Nikki can take it away, basically.
I shall. I can get the blooming gloves on. Right, so this is a chocolate face mask. It's supposed to be rejuvenating. I have no idea if it actually is or not. So, oh, it's got some bloody resistance to it. First off, I'm going to melt some chocolate, but obviously I'm not going to like superheat it because it is about to go on someone's face.
Hang on. Is there a tail on this?
Yeah, there's a tail. So that was an entire egg because this is in cups and I don't know cups. So whack on for
If someone can tell me an easier tip how to put rubber gloves on, I would like to hear about it. So if you can put a comment in the side there to tell me exactly how you do that, much appreciated, because I just can never ever get them on. Not looking forward to this, I have to say.
Right, and then I want 2/3 of a cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm going to zhuzh this a little bit.
I would zhuzh it a bit more.
I mean, it's rejuvenating, I suppose, no matter how melted it is, but...
Can I take this off now?
You can. Right.
Oh, Nikki's stuck again.
No. Stop darling. Oh, you're a bit red. On the apron?
No, just tuck that in.
Okay, I'll be gentle with the gigantic.
So, what's this supposed to do?
Rejuvenate.
You don't tell me, you just got this off the internet this morning.
I did, 100%. Google chocolate face mask, first one that came up, print.
Okay.
Right. How does that feel?
Well, that feels quite nice actually. It reminds me of that chocolate body paint we used to get when you...
Well, that's just made it a touch awkward. Right. Gently.
Here's a hat that you must take home. Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
You know what? I've not done a bad job there. I'm better at applying masks than I am at baking. There you go.
So then, Nikki, tell me, how long are you supposed to leave this on for?
15 to 20 minutes, and you're
That's
also
not
supposed to do it twice a week.
Twice a week, and what's the benefits of doing this?
Don't know. I
So
didn't
apart
read
from
that far
looking
down the
this
page.
silly with chocolate. So I think this brings us to an end of the VN Happy Hour segment, what me and Nikki do. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We've had a giggle yet again. We know we're not the best bakers, we know that full well, we're not the best creative people,
No.
but if we brought a bit of sunshine, a bit of laughter into your life for the last 15-20 minutes, then we've done our job. So
Job done, yeah.
have a great rest of the happy hour, and we see you next time, hopefully.
Don't forget to send in your requests for the next one, and hashtag us at hashtag VN Happy Hour.
Also, what else do you want to see Nikki dress up as? Because trust me, you've got plenty of costumes she can put on. All right, take care everyone, enjoy yourself, and see you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, right, that was truly exhausting. For those who weren't in the fitness session, that was brutal. First of all, I'm going to announce the winners of the Wizards from the fitness session. They are Emma Seaton for her Me Too Dead comment towards the end, and Sarah Walker for a truly epic on-camera performance. That was a great effort. And now what we're going to try and do is, you guys have watched the video, so we're going to keep an eye on the chat, and the first three names in the chat, you can correctly identify where the wizard was. Not particularly well hidden in Lee's video, to be honest. So we'll take the first three names now. I think we can all assume you know where it was. So the first three names in the chat will win a wizard. Okay.
Oh, I
think
we've
we
got our
have,
top three.
yeah, Chantel, Amy, and Eileen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. That's high-end merchandise heading its way to you very shortly. So that's the Wizards taken care of. Over to you, Rachel, for the challenge.
Right, my inbox has been going crazy. You've all sent some wonderful pictures. It's so hard to pick, it really is. Hopefully you should be seeing some examples of some of the images we've had in. Some lovely ones. And the challenge winner, who has bagged themselves a £100 gift voucher, is Tina Tompkin, and her picture should be coming up now. I just thought that was so lovely. Look at that,
brilliant.
teamwork, camaraderie, what it's all about, isn't it? So well done, Tina.
Yeah, some great great efforts there as well. I mean, commendations to everyone who sent in pictures. There was some brilliant stuff
They
there.
were all incredible. So I would like to say, actually, please share them on your social channels as well. Tag VN Times, hashtag VN Happy Hour, because I would love to share them all across there as well. They were wonderful.
Excellent. I'm not sure about the nurse with the large furry ears, but there you go. And now we're going to announce the names of our BSAVA ticket winners. They are Chloe Hamlin and Lindsay Crane. So congratulations to you both. I believe BSAVA will have been in contact with you. We did the draw a couple of days ago, so congratulations to Chloe and Lindsay. And over to you, Rachel, for the Pay It Forward winner this week.
Yeah, it's now time for our Pay It Forward winner. It's one of my favourite parts. It's just so wonderful reading all of these, and I think I say it every month. I would love to be able to give prizes to every single person nominated, because you're all so worthy. But we have to have a winner, and this month we have, oh sorry, first we've got some slides with some of the nominations.
Yeah, we had so many through. It's incredible how this is taken up, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, we have to pick a winner. So this month it is Ashley Gower from Vets Now Kings North, and she was nominated by Jessica Tattersall. And Jessica said, "For encouraging me and believing in me. Ashley has been my greatest advocate and friend these past few years. Without her encouragement, I would not be the RVN I am. She has helped me believe in myself and overcome self-doubt. She is a great RVN committed to patient care." So congratulations, Ashley. We will be in contact to arrange your very special prize.
Yeah, well done, Ashley. So that really all this leaves us to do now is to thank Adam, Aoife, Ellie, Zara and Jane. And of course, the lovely Katie Ford, who helps us with all our tech stuff and much more. But the biggest thank you goes to you guys, the delegates, for your questions, for your energy, for your input, for just being here. It really is all about you. You make this event And we'll obviously be back, but I'd like you to share anything on #VN Happy Hour. Get in touch with us too, happyhour@vbd.co.uk, because we want ideas for future discussions, things we can do on here, guests we can invite on here. You know, it really is your event. So just let us know and we'll try and make that happen. So it's good night from me and good night from Rachel.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. And we'll see you all on the 29th of April for our next happy hour. So see you all then. Bye.
Bye.